Hello and welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by Acco. Go and check Acco out at acco.com. Scores yesterday, Pezzy lad. England 303. As we already know, then New Zealand bowled out for 388. That's a lead of 85 runs. England, however, in the highlight of the day, are 122 for 9. They're in front by 37. It doesn't feel like quite enough. My name is Ian Higgins. He is Sam Perry. Perry, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Now, I've given you the scores, but...
Well, allow me to roll out the red carpet for the following, Ian. Can you put it to me in grade terms?
Dad, I scored 80 against the worst team in the comp.
So that's a young player playing fours or fives or something.
Ross Taylor.
Ross Taylor. Any things for us?
Yeah, okay. I'll bring three things to you, Pez. Now, speaking of Ross, who would have been on the phone straight to Dad about his 80 against the worst team in the comp. And I want to give some Ross Taylor love. That's my first thing I want to give out, Pez. Now, I feel like he's one of New Zealand's all-time greatest players, and this is just a bit of he is the poster boy of New Zealand not getting enough love generally, despite them being a wonderful team. Could potentially be the best team in the world and get the vase or the ribbon or whatever it is.
Yeah, the stick.
They get a ribbon.
A badge.
Ross Taylor's got 107 test caps, which is fucking loads for New Zealand.
For New Zealand it is.
14 years. That's
he had
over
to start
14
playing
years.
in 1960 for that.
That's actually when he debuted, yeah. So he's played... He's 5 away from breaking Dan Vittori's record, which is 112 caps, although Tim Southee has got 110 caps, so I don't think he'll ever hold that record. Debuted in 2007. Who debuted for Australia in 2007, Pez?
Brad Hogg.
Mitchell Johnson.
Right.
He debuted 1 month before Stuart Broad, who has 147 caps, highlighting how few Test New Zealand play. Averages 45 in Test, 48 in ODIs. Most runs for New Zealand Test cricket ever. He's got just over 7,500 runs, 19 Test centuries. That was the most for New Zealand ever. Kane Williamson's obviously now
Mate, you're
20.
boosting my serotonin with every number that you're reading out here.
He's played in 2 World Cup finals. Now going to a World Test Championship final, unless he slips on a sock. Your eyes are rolling in the back of your head. He's captain New Zealand. He's won games of cricket in Australia. He's 37 years old. He's still scoring runs. Has anyone got a more sexual cut shot than Ross Taylor?
He goes, in addition to that, and in a very unexpected way, or an unexpected kind of development, I'm going to go against every masculine fibre that I possess and say I was wrong about Taylor. Because I suggested in earlier shows that something was missing. Looked like something had gone. He's just an older guy getting up from the couch. It takes a while.
Yeah.
Obviously.
When you start making noises when you bend over or stand up.
Mate, we all feel it. Lower back. Yeah, just stretch it out a little bit. Then
When you
can
start
get
exhaling audibly, that's when you know it's over for you.
Oh, I sat down the other day. Sorry, I bent over to pick up some washing the other day, and I went, no. My wife said, "You're right."
Yeah.
And that was Ross Taylor just at the start of this series. But now, crunching balls everywhere. Like everything he does is with a crunch. He smashes it. And so I can't actually put into words my apology to Ross Taylor. So I just wanted to offer the following.
I'm sorry, babe. I didn't mean that either. I just yell sometimes because I get so scared. Scared of being a nobody.
Muscle, crunch, curl and unfurled. He smashed it.
Yeah.
I love Ross Taylor. Ross, I love you. Congratulations, and I hope he takes that in to the WTC final at Southampton, where we finally work out who the best team is.
So yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else to add. He's got 80 runs. Bit of a shit shot to get out to nick off to Ollie Stone.
Must be said.
Unlucky.
Cricket's never good.
Unlucky to be caught by England's 7th choice wicketkeeper.
Was he?
Unnecessarily.
No,
harsh.
It's necessary.
Yeah, I just can't see that.
Lovely
happening.
positive note you've commenced on here as well. I mean, most analysis of what happened yesterday focuses squarely on, a developing crisis in England cricket. Now, I'm not saying...
We'll get to that. We're about 10 minutes
your
away,
cheeks are going up to your eyes talking about that, and so am I.
Yeah. I got to tell you, like when it's a cold Melbourne winter's morning and you get up and you're like, just check the scores.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hop out of bed.
Can you smell that? Can you smell the equivocation of English journalists at the moment? Oh,
yeah.
Explaining it with big words. Oh, that's actually a systemic issue.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm reading every comment on Twitter. Yeah, they're right. Yeah, they are shit. Yeah,
They're just shit.
Me jumping into the studio this
All right,
morning.
keep it positive though. What's the second thing?
Okay, second thing, pairs of that, Henry and Wagner
Richard.
destroy England again. I want to give some respect to Wagner and Henry.
Yes.
3 for 18 for Wagner, 3 for 36 for Matt Henry, who also picked up Burns, Simbly, and Crawley. England's 1, 2, 3. The big three scalps at the top. Big three.
Yeah, they get through big three.
Neil Wagner figured out Steve Smith, just bumped him, but stopped him in an otherwise forgettable series. Matt Henry has come into this series pretty cold. Probably 4th, 5th choice seamer. He also highlighted how many players in New Zealand are missing in this fucking demolition of England.
He's a good two. He's taking a lot of wickets in twos.
He's taking a lot of wickets in twos. Both have got the ball to talk. This is going to be the first series loss for England since 2014 against Sri Lanka. This is the second loss they're going to have in Edgbaston in 2 attempts. Obviously, the last time, 2019, was the last game they played there.
Can't believe the fortress has crumbled.
Exactly, and there's been a few. We'll get to hashtag RCDC in a moment. But yeah, so Wagner and Henry just done the job, carrying the load that Trent Bolt sort of started in the first innings with his fourfer.
Mate, I'll have to say, when it comes to Matt Henry, I'm kissing teeth too. Much like I was with Bolt. It's just, mate, he's big, hits the wicket. Yes, it go both ways.
Yeah. There's something about these bowlers that make you do stuff with your face.
Yeah. Matt Henry, he's a big boy, Matt Henry. Nice and upright, angular, straight lines, whoosh, corridor of wet paint. Whoosh. It was only a lead of 85. Whose cock is it though? Now it was
the BCCIs.
Hope you're happy, Acco. It was only a lead of 85 that New Zealand had. There's been 2 days of this Test match heading into this one. It was still, England in all sorts, still pretty even. 85 is surmountable. But then, Wagner came to the party, angry, pumped up, energetic. Matt Henry, shots and straight angles. I think actually heading into next week, Wagner hadn't quite penetrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Matt Henry might have just jumped up a little bit as well, but then Wagner came and had a bit of a demolition derby fight. He showed us the Wagner that he can be. He just went bang, 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 roaring in faces.
Even
as he takes
New
wickets.
Zealand just goes to show you need a bit of cunt.
Yeah.
You need a bit of cunt at this level. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You can't play a threes game in Australia without a bit of cunt.
Exactly.
It actually goes too
And that's
far.
why-
You don't get 9 cunts, but
when you go the other way, then
Yeah,
you
go
get
the other way,
sandpaper.
but
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Especially when doing it for 40 years.
Let's blame
Minimum.
3 guys.
Minimum.
Yeah. So it's good.
I think Wagner's spot was probably never under threat heading into next week because of the reasons you say.
Well, and the way he batted last week. Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Brian Lara.
Yeah. And the other one I wanted to say as well.
Yeah.
Here goes Patel. He bowled with great control.
AXA.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about England, India, right?
Yeah. Couple of poles.
Mate, couple of poles, bowl with great control, 20 with the bat.
Yep.
Has he leapfrogged Mitch Santner heading into next week? Because Santner offers with the bat. Now, obviously, let's say the important things first. School teacher, librarian, hotness. Yeah, as it's been suggested from Mitch Santner. And that's not to be discarded. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important stuff.
He'll take you
some of
places.
those rimmed glasses on. I'm kissing a different kind of teeth there.
What?
Don't know.
He'll take you to places that you haven't been in years.
Exactly. And that's important. Like the vibe of the thing, the way it all balances. He brings a bit of that, Mitch Santner. But Patel's coming, he's actually taking wickets and bowling better. That's a factor.
Yeah, bowling better, yeah. No, you can't put a
Causing
price
more
on,
problems for India.
Yeah, you can't put a price on Santner's hotness and his full tosses to Joe Root in the first Test match. Like 4 in the over.
Somehow it works. Somehow it works for New Zealand cricket.
He's bringing something.
Yeah, like he balances. People talk about balancing. He balances out Wagner.
The only time that's true. The only time I'd seen Patel bowl before, which is again his problem, not mine, was when they beat Pakistan in the UAE. They played the second game. New Zealand came from nowhere to win those games, as can happen sometimes against Pakistan. But every time he's coming to the side, in that I've seen him play, which is always the marker of a great player, which is why Sachin not for me.
Well, you ramrodded that in.
No, just the level this is annoying people is now,
Yeah. There's only 2 ways you can go with it.
Exactly.
You can apologise or you can double down.
Never apologise to my wife. Sorry. Yeah, so he does well. He does a good job, and he's taken a couple of big wickets here. Well, he picked up. Was it Root he got? What was it?
Yeah, he got Root.
He got Root.
Yeah, and he got Bracey.
Braces sort of leads me to the next point, if I may. Or do you want to talk about something else?
No, I just wanted to say New Zealand caught very well in the slips. Like
they have caught well.
Took a good catch. It's all symbiotic, that stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
All those catches in the slips.
Now that's a nice cordon of conversation, isn't it? It's a nice cordon of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, in New Zealand. Well, of course, it's New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there's some skeleton stuff, which we will get to. Please head us into number 3.
James Bracey's dismissal and his involvement in this Test match. Now, it's sad when a guy reaches the top of the game, and he's had a horrible 2 Test matches, 3 ducks, drop catches galore, by City. Fuck that dismissal. He's like, I hear all of my stumps, and then we just punch one into middle off Patel. A fucking nude off spinner from Patel. Oh my God. Leads me to my 3rd point, Pez.
Yep.
Is England's batting now a crisis?
Yes.
Is it now a crisis? Yes.
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 Come off a little bit of a long run with this, a little bit.
I will allow it.
All the Ashes malarkey clouds this shit, right? Like, what is happening with England at the moment is just a really, really poor display, largely born of the disrespect that England has shown Test cricket for a number of years. It goes beyond what's happened with the pandemic and guys getting rested and stuff like that. You'll have a guy like George Dobell, senior cricket journalist, well respected in England. Long time he's been saying that this is a regime and a system that has abandoned its responsibility to Test cricket. It's pushed its first class system to the margins, and what it does is it shoots out young guys like now with compromised techniques that Nasser Hussain is blowing up about, saying they don't know how to fucking bat at this level. He's probably right. That's the best county championship has to offer, right? So that's why these guys are there. This is the top 5 that are currently penciled in for the Ashes. Okay, but can I mitigate it a little bit? Or do you want to just fucking roll around and you big shit? This feels good.
No, mitigate.
Yeah, mitigate.
If you have to.
I'm not fully buying this Ashes crisis just yet. I think there's some 3D chess. No, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I'm all in, baby.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want from me? Do you want the pantomime or do you want my thoughts?
Okay, give me your thoughts.
My thoughts, and we'll go thoughts pantomime.
Thoughts
pantomime.
Yeah.
So, I think for a while now, England has invested in these hybrid style cricketers who are very, very, very good cricketers who can do a bit of both. So, Wokes, Moeen Ali, Sam Curran, Joss Buttler keeping, Johnny Bairstow keeping, batting. Ben Stokes obviously is world class doing both.
Yeah.
These guys are going to come in to the side, and they are going to buttress a lot of the weakness at the top. I know they're not top 5 guys, although I think Bairstow is fucking looking great at the moment.
Yeah, really.
He's
had a great series.
Very good series. So is David Milan.
Yeah.
But and Archer will come in for the Ashes. They're going to be a better side than this shower at the moment. And I think it will help their top 5. I think Crawley will probably come good. Pope is good. Doesn't mean they're still not a bit shit, but they've got a lot of guys who are going to cobble their way to better scores. They're going to be able to help Broad and Anderson penetrate because they're going to be able to hold up other ends better. England will be a better side. They're playing. How would Australia go if they were playing 18 fucking Test guys who needing to be rested? How would Australia's second stringers go as a top 5? I don't know if it'd be that good either. I think it's all a little bit symbiosis. They've got problems, but it's mitigated by the guys who are being rested at the moment. But I've got no fucking sympathy for them in any way because they've treated this Test series like a practice series and they've been fucking bent over. Yeah. Basically, a lot of that motif coming through this show. Don't know why, but they've treated it with disrespect. They're getting hammered.
Yeah, they're getting kicking. Yeah, you're right. Pretty much ever since they put all the eggs in the 2019 basket, which they tied famously. In that final game. Since then, because except for India, who have fucking 8,000 great cricketers, you really don't have any more than, say, like 20 international class, quality, high-level cricketers at any one time, across all formats, I mean. So when you get guys like the sort of 5 or 6 you just mentioned there, and they put all the eggs in the one-day basket, and they got the benefits of that by winning the World Cup at home. But you saw the effects straight away in the Ashes series when Australia fucking, for the most part, smashed England that series, and it was 2-2. And then you sort of seen the spill-on effects still, and they've got very few players who are ready to step up in county championship cricket. And as well, it's interesting guys like Crawley and Pope, who I can see are good cricketers, and they are Test match quality. They've had a rough start, but you kind of need you need your Stokes and your Root to stand up whilst those guys are in the team. So then I think about when Michael Clark came into the Australian Test team, right? And he's being surrounded by just fucking worldies everywhere. So he can bat at 6 and he can learn his craft, and that's how he's
got a chance to fail.
He's got a chance to fail, and so then he ended up having a career of averaging 50 in Test cricket, right? You know, but when you're coming in and you're Ollie Pope now, every innings is fucking life or death. Needs you.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting no easy innings, and so I feel like you probably need that. You know, as a young guy coming into a Test team, batting 5 or 6.
These guys exist in England. I'm not saying they're a worldy team, but they are sitting on the sidelines, and they're sitting on the sidelines in part due to systemic approach towards Test cricket from England at the moment. So it's entirely on them. They're responsible for it. But they do have a better side than this. They will look a little bit stronger heading into the Ashes. So I'm not getting to the point where I think DeBell said the only thing worse than Australian derision is Australian sympathy. Well, I don't have sympathy for England yet. I think we're being tempted to look at it that way.
I will say this.
Yeah, it's a bit good. Doing pantomime now?
No.
Oh, right.
They're not as bad as this.
Yeah.
They will lose 5-0 in Australia.
Yeah.
That's shit. They've got shit players. Hashtag ICDC. David Fisher writes in, the New Zealanders have swung the ball a lot more than England. Have we found the first skeleton? Interesting, David. Accusation.
Is he suggesting foul play? And I'd understand if he was, he goes, because since sandpaper, obviously nobody can swing the ball without cheating.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I think David's right. Like if New Zealand are engaging in anything that's wily and against their brand of being simple, nice guys with no personality or anything to say of humour, then there will be questions of skeletons, and that is not to be confused with Skeletor.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
I don't overuse jokes or anything like that, but yeah. I think, we found a skeleton.
Yeah, very wily. They've been which is different to David Willey, who's just been included in the T20 squad for England. Hashtag RCDC. Siraj writes in, boys, what's the bigger highlight from 2021? Australia losing at the Gabba, or Rafa losing at Roland Garros? Or England losing at Edgbaston, their own fortress? What about that, Siraj?
Hell of a fortress.
Yeah.
Siraj, until Novak Djokovic is naming his dog Roland Garros, then the answer's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Or brought to you thanks to Acco as well for those hashtag RCDCs. We'll see you guys later. England, are they the worst team ever? New Zealand, are they the best team ever? We live in a binary world. See you later.